Pierre Weisenberger and me and I came that close to a breakthrough in railroad engineering in North America, thanks to Pierre's friend Bugatti, and thanks to your grandfather's, my father's, connections with railway men. Finished engineering at McGill and went from there to the Harvard Business School, where I took the MBA course.
Now I'm going to interrupt. A couple of things. Where does Mum fit into this? And did you take the business
you're
course?
way ahead of me.
All right, now,
You're way ahead of me.
but the motivation for going to business, did that have anything to do with taking over your dad's business back in Thunder Bay at that stage?
No, not really. I didn't have that as a specific objective. It was certainly there in my mind at all times that, gee, it'd be nice to work with Dad in his business.
So what prompted you to go to the business?
I wanted more education. Just what prompted Galen to go on after his arts to take law, and then go after law to go on and take his PhD in business administration. People get hungry for more education, and I was hungry for additional education. And I happened to be a little bit too damn young for the stage I was at academically. I was the youngest man in the engineering class of 35 at McGill. And I was the youngest man in the class of 700 or 800 of us at the Harvard Business School. I think if I had my life to go do over again, and the opportunities were available for me to have done so, I think it would have been a little better for me to have gone out and worked for a couple of years after engineering, and then gone to the business school.
Why?
Because the range of, well, I was naive, I was young, I was wet behind the ears. Just to show you the age spread in my class at Harvard, one of my classmates took out another of my classmates' daughter, dated her. They became fast friends. I don't know, they may have married. Many companies sent promising executives who they wanted to put some more polish on, and they sponsored their return to school by sending them to the Harvard Business School. It builds largely that way. The armed services particularly. Gosh, there were majors and colonels, and here a wet behind the ear 21-year-old kid was a little out of his depth socially. That's why I think that it could have been helpful had I had a little experience under my belt before I went to the business school. Like Gordon, worked for some years. Like Greg, worked for some years before they went to the business school. And like Galen, practiced law for a while before he went on to his business course. So these things, I think, give you an opportunity to mature a bit, and I think you can get maybe a little bit more out of the opportunities available to you. That's a theory of mine. It could be proven totally false, but that's the way I felt. I was engaged to Mom, and the war clouds were gathering, but not everyone identified them as, with certainty, as war clouds. Just looked like a bit of political upheaval, not all-out war. And the company wanted to send me, I was told, by the powers that be at Royal Securities and at Montreal Engineering, which is where I was working, which is the engineering department that managed and supervised and engineered the
was financial holdings of Isaac Walton Killam. That included in the southern climes, Monterey Railway Light and Power, Puerto Rico Railway Light and Power, Venezuela Power Company, British Guiana Power Company, Bolivia Power Company, Salvador Electric, headquartered in San Salvador. Gosh, what else? Anyway, I was first of all scheduled to go to Bolivia. And as luck would have it, instead another chap was sent, Jack Kazikoff, who was an engineering classmate of mine from McGill, who is still a good friend of mine, who became president of International Power, and who has retired and lives in Bermuda. And we always visit with the Kazikoffs on those rare occasions that we get to Bermuda, and they always look us up on the rare occasions that they get to Montreal. The next choice for me was Salvador, and I did a lot of research on what it was going to be like to live in Salvador. However, to make a long story short, I was ultimately sent to Venezuela, where they needed a commercial superintendent and a kind of a special assistant to the general manager there. The general manager there was a fellow by the name of Morley Taylor, and Morley Taylor became president of International Power and of Montreal Engineering. Anyway, time came for departure to Venezuela. And what's the matter?
Put your hands down your lap.
Oh, yeah.
Reflecting back into your mouth.
Yeah. The trip down was on one of the American export ships, and
It's an American export ship.
the American export line was the line of ships. They had the SS Exacorda, the SS St. Helena, the SS this, the SS that. And it was a lovely trip. I didn't really know what I was getting into. I had read a variety of things, all the way from Look After You Leap, as well as Look Before You Leap, a publication put out by the Harvard Business School on foreign service. I had read Gomez, Tyrant of the Andes, to get a little of the socioeconomic picture of Venezuela. I had read fortune articles on Venezuela, and a poor little rich girl, as they called it. I had all kinds of runs of imagination on how fast I would get some tropical disease. My first night ashore in that part of the world was I lit from the ship in Curacao, the Dutch West Indies. And from Curacao, I had a small boat take me over to Aruba, and from Aruba, a small plane took me into Maracaibo, where I was to be stationed.